I'm Rob Taylor, and I am running for the U.S. Senate. I will be an independent, hopefully on the ballot. I'm waiting to find out tonight, but I am backed and endorsed by the Constitution Party. And the reason for that is because the Constitution Party doesn't have ballot access right now. That will change in November. I am a software engineer by trade, so I'm a working class kind of guy. Family, kids in college, paying bills, paying taxes, property taxes and everything. I'm a three-term elected public servant for the city of Cumberland. So I've just won my third election up there as on the city council. So I have experience in representation for people and solving problems. Yeah, Cumberland's 2,300 people, but still, you couldn't imagine how much we have to fight from a city, both at problems and fighting the state and federal government. I mean, those that know me, they know I'm pretty active in the raw milk movement. And been actually several protests and try to make as many as I can and fight to get some of these people out of jail. I've also taken on other causes. One is the chlorine that is being put into or being dictated to be mandated to put into drinking waters of municipalities like Cumberland. I do not believe that the DNR, that's who directing at the state. I think the orders are coming from the USDA and who knows where from up that level. But I am very much against the chlorination of our drinking. We have probably what is known as the best water in Wisconsin, if not that, at least in the 10 top best. And there's no way that we're going to allow chlorination to come in here just because the DNR says it fights bacteria and germs and everything. All right. So I'm fighting that pretty heavily for the city and the people. What else can I say? Running around the state, getting a little fatter, a little grayer, a little older, trying to get people to hear me. And actually it's great because we have an underground media here between groups like you guys and other patriot groups around the state that's been really supporting the campaign. Obviously, I'm not a Republican or Democrat, so the major news media's, I'm a nobody to them. So that's all right. But apparently something's happening because I've been invited to now speak at Pat Snyder's show, and I've got an invitation in Appleton beginning of August to be on the radio there. So, and we turned in our signatures today. We turned in over 945 more than required, so I think that we're going to make the ballot, which I think makes me a candidate. Okay?
Okay, and this isn't on the question, but what makes you think you can beat Russ Feingold? Obviously, you mentioned the mainstream media is not giving you any shot. What's going to make people look at you instead of the Republican candidate?
Well, one, I have a plan, and I actually have a plan once I get into office. And right now, there's 14 items of my plan of what I feel needs to be done. I am not backed by party agenda, and I go around the state speaking that. And I speak items from a working class kind of a guy that is really bothering me and what I see bothering the country. Things like immigration. Both of the major parties. I mean, we've had immigration now for I don't know how many administrations. Why can't we get a handle on this? I am a zero tolerance kind of guy. I want the borders protected. I want the immigrants rounded up. I want them moved out. If they want to come back here, they get behind the line like everybody else. If we want them to come here to work, then we invite them in. They pay taxes. They don't get any free housing. They don't get any free tuition. They don't have free cars. They don't have free food, free health care, everything that you and I are paying for. And I can say this because even in Cumberland, we have the biggest cannery, I think, around for green beans. And every summer, We are completely inundated by migrant workers. And, being on the council, I've asked the chief to check documentation. And now are we not getting Spanish, we're getting Romanians. Where do they show up? So we've got a serious problem with immigration in this country, and I think that we need to get it fixed. Second is schools. We need to get Washington, D.C. out of our schools. Washington, D.C. does not know what Cumberland, Wisconsin needs. And I'm having a little trouble with Madison, but that is a state's right. So I will leave it at that. But we need to get Washington out, because they have been, in my mind, I think in several others, brainwashing our kids for many, many years. So those are some of the items that right off the bat come to mind. My plan, the first thing on my plan, speaking of immigration, is I want to get POTUS to move 40,000 troops to the Mexican border, 30 of them in heavy armament, patrolling, protecting our border. We are being invaded, people. We are. And these sheriffs, God bless them, they're down there with minuscule weapons. We've got troops stationed around the world. What are we doing? That's not in our Constitution. All right, let's get them back. Let's get them on our borders. And like I said, I'd like to see 30,000 of them to begin with in full armament, and the rest of the 10,000 helping ICE round up and get illegals out of here. All right. It's pretty simple. We have a blueprint of the way the federal government should be run, and it has not been run like that for I don't know how many. Let's say 100 years. I can only do 40 of my memory, what I've seen, but certainly looking at news stories and history, we have not had a constitutional run federal government for at least 100 years. And I'm going to do my best to fight that. And I'm here, I'm ready to fight, and I'm going to take that message all the way around Wisconsin that I can. Okay?
So, this is another one, I'm not pulling punches, but why wouldn't you run on the Republican ticket then, so that you would actually have a better chance?
When I started this, I'm not a career politician. Like I said, I'm a software engineer, but I've had it. I've written letters to Republicans, and I've written letters to my Democratic representatives, and I'm not saying they're alike. There are very distinct differences, but I'm getting the same answers back, and I'm mad. I'm pissed off, and this is not the way our country should be running. And it seems that the people flip left and right. Okay, one party comes in, one party goes out. One party comes in, one party goes out. But policies stay the same. Okay, our unconstitutional government is still being run. I woke up and decided that I was tired of complaining, and my dad taught me that quit complaining and get up and do something about it. And so I said, well, okay, I can't fight it from the alderman position. I can't fight it from the state or the county. I can't fight it from the state. So let's take it from the top down. So I decided on the U.S. Senate. Actually, I did decide first at the U.S. House, going after Obie. But the Republican there had done such a good job at almost beating him last time that we decided I'd step down, let the Republican come in, and take that, and I would take on the Senate seat. So I just don't feel that the parties represent what I'm for, and they don't represent my principles. Now, I've been asked by the Republicans many times to come over and say, yeah, this would probably be an easy win for you. But I think I have principles. And I think if I did that, you all would see that I'm just running for political gain. And that's not what I'm here for. Okay?